So, is it safe to assume that you all thought the film strip technique was pretty cool? Are you ready to take it one step further? This page looks great just as it is, but how about we add some graphics to it without ever leaving the app? We can do this by using graphic-like fonts. Now, before we go further, I wanted to bring up that character map that I mentioned in a previous video. And the character map is a file that usually your font designer will include with their graphic fonts to let you know which graphic is associated with which character on your keyboard. This is the character map that was included with the KG Flavor and Frames font that I installed earlier on my iPad or in my Project Life app. And you can see how the exclamation mark is associated with this star with the squigglies. There's a percent sign that's associated with a solid piece of washi tape. If we come further down here, we've got the letter A is assigned to this scalloped circle. We have the letter Z that goes with a photo corner. So it's helpful to refer to these character maps when you are working with graphic fonts. Now what I'm going to do here is select that large placeholder and then tap on the text icon, and you can see that it is placing a text box in my placeholder. I want to change fonts, and let's see if I can make this a little bit smaller and move this around. And I want to select that font with the frames that I installed earlier. And I already know that the graphic that I want to use is a Polaroid frame, and it is associated with the letter L. I'll tap that there, and then I want to enlarge it. And sometimes this can get tricky. Let's see. If I enlarge it here, I just want to be able to grab the corner, there we go, and enlarge it like that. Okay. It's a little big, so I want to decrease the size of it. And I think I'm going to keep it just about like that. Let me get rid of the keyboard and back out of here and see how I like that. Tap the text icon again, and I just want to just move it around a little bit. Okay, just like so. Now you are able to change the color of it, and you can select any of those colors that appear in your color palette, but I am going to stick with the white. Now friends, when it comes to rotating this particular box, it can get a little wonky. You really do have to zoom in and, kind of play around with it. And it's very difficult to get it at that right angle of your photo, okay? So, but really it looks fine when it's offset, like I had it. So for now, I'm going to keep it just like this. Now I do want to add another text box to my page, and to do so I will tap the plus sign that is at the very end of the font menu toolbar, and I know the piece of washi tape I want to place on here is associated with the percentage sign. So I'll tap that, and then I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better, and I'm going to place that piece of washi tape right over the frame here, kind of in the center, and I'm going to change it to a gold color. And now I want to add one more text box. So I'll come back over here and tap that plus sign, and this time I'm going to add a piece of chevron washi tape on top of that gold. So that chevron washi tape is associated with the ampersand. And again, I'm going to zoom in and move that piece of washi tape over the first one. And I'm going to change the color to that purple color. And I'm also going to increase the size of it a little bit, so it's, kind of the same as the one below, like that. I'm going to get rid of my keyboard, and look at how awesome that looks. Guys, I added graphics to this page without ever leaving the app. That is the beauty of being able to install your own fonts and working with fonts that are graphics or icons. So go ahead and do searches on the internet and see what fun graphic fonts you can find. One more thing to this page, and add a regular text box right on to the Polaroid photo frame. And I'm just going to move this text box down here and change the color to this darker gray. And I'm just going to type in Olivia. Let's do a little colon, class of 2019. I think I'm going to decrease the size of that a little bit. It's kind of big. And then move it down here in the corner of that Polaroid, right about there. Love the way this looks, super cute. Now, if your OCD is really starting to kick in and saying that you want to have that Polaroid frame perfectly centered on that photo, there is a way to do that, and that's what I'm going to show you next. But first, I want to go ahead and export this page to my camera roll because I want to show you side by side what the pages will look like with the Polaroid perfectly centered on the square photo and with it offset like you see here. So I'm just going to save this to my camera roll, and I'm going to X out of the page and come back to my library. And I am going to come over here to more options, and I want to duplicate this page right here. Okay, because I don't want to have to recreate it all over again. You can see that that copy is backing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that page to view and edit it, and then I'm going to delete that photo, okay, from that big space, because we're going to still add the same thing in there, but we got to kind of recreate that photo frame and the washi tape on it. So what we want to do is come back to our main screen. Now what I want to do next is come over here and open up the collage section of the app, and I want to select the 12 by 12 full page collage. And what I'm going to do here is drop in the film strip layout that I created a little while ago. And now I want to go ahead and repeat the process of adding that photo frame on this page. So I remember it was the letter L. Let's move this, open it up closer. And let's see, I still need to go bigger with it. Still a little bit bigger. That's going to be too big. That still might be a little big. It's nice that we're able to play around with the size of this some. Okay, I think this will do it just like that. I'm going to move this down here. Then I'm going to get rid of the keyboard for a moment and see how that looks on my page. I like the way this looks. So let's go ahead and add those text boxes for the washi tape. We need to add a new text box, and that one was the percentage sign. Let's zoom in here, and let's use this slider to increase the size. Place the washi tape over the frame, and we're going to change the color to that gold. And then let's add another text box for the chevron washi tape. Zoom in, place that over. Let's increase the size some. Let's go a little bit more. and then change the color to that deep purple. Let's go ahead and add a regular text box on the photo frame. And this time I want to change out that font. Actually, I need to add a new text box here first. And then I want to change the font to the same one I used on the other layout, this one here. And I want to change the color to that darker gray and decrease the font size. And then I'll just type to edit, Olivia Class of 2019. And this is still too big for me, so I want to make that font even smaller, like that. And then I'm going to move it over to the bottom corner, even go a little bit smaller. Okay, now I want to export this to my camera roll. Because now we are ready to bring this back into the main layout. So let's X out of here. Yes, I'm done editing this page. I'm going to open up the layout that I duplicated and removed that original film strip photo. And now I'm going to replace it with the film strip photo I just saved to my library. And now here is where we want to rotate it using Pick Tap Go. So we'll tap the photo editing icon and edit in Pick Tap Go. I'll tap the crop tool at the top of the screen and then the rotate tool at the bottom, and then I will slide the rotation just a little bit there. I'll hit apply in the upper right corner and then hit done. Let's come back to a horizontal view. And you can see now we have that photo frame that is perfectly centered on that square photo. I'm going to export this to my camera roll because I want to be able to show you these two pages side by side. Well, which do you like better? The Polaroid frame that is offset from the picture or the Polaroid frame that is perfectly squared on the picture? There is no right or wrong way. It's totally a personal choice. Thank you so much for watching these 2 technique videos with the Project Life app. I hope they inspired you to think outside the box and use the Project Life app in more creative ways.